Hey friends, it's Ashley and today I am here to share a new layout with you for the cut shop. I'm using our new Freebie Friday cut file that you can see coming up here, and it's available in the new shop. The cut shop has moved, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that in just a bit. But I want to get started with the layout. I'm using the Pink Paisley Whimsical Collection by Paige Evans, and I cut the heart from white cardstock, and I'm going to back it with pattern papers from the 6x6 paper pad. So I'm just going to go through the paper pad to pick out some of the designs that I want to use. And when I'm backing a small area like this, instead of pulling the whole sheet out of the paper pad, I like to just kind of cut little squares out. It makes it easier and keeps all your pages from falling out later on once you're done. So I just traced the little heart shape here, and I'm going to use my fine liner liquid adhesive here. I got the fine liner bottle on Amazon, and the adhesive that I use is the Scotch Quick Dry Adhesive. You can usually find it at Michael's. I think they were out last time I checked, but you can order that on Amazon as well. I just like it because it dries really quickly, and I like using the fine liner bottle because it puts just the right amount of adhesive on these thin little lines, especially when you're working with cut files. So I'm just going to do a few of these here first, just to show you what it looks like. You've seen me do this technique before. I'm just tracing on the front side because I'm actually cutting inside the drawn line, so I'm not going to have any pencil lines showing. You could flip it over on the back side if you want to, since it's the 6x6 paper pad. These are just white on the back side. So either way, whichever works for you. And I liked this little rainbow paper in the 6x6 paper pad because you can use this one several different ways. You can line up your shape wherever you want to kind of pick up some of those rainbow colors. So I actually use kind of each section as I go along. I wanted the greens and blues here on this heart. And so you can see I've almost got that all finished up. I'm just going to do a couple more here to finish that out. And I kind of just went in a pattern around the heart, kind of using the same repeating papers from the 6x6 paper pad. I threw in a couple of other ones that I didn't use anywhere else, just that one time, just to kind of vary things up a little bit and get some extra color in there. And so I'm going to go back and just pick that last one. This was one of the ones that I didn't have repeating, and I wanted to flip it over because it's a little darker on the pattern side, and it just makes it easier to see my heart shape on that back side on the white. And so I got that all finished up, and I love the way that looks, and the colors pop off of the background. I decided to stitch it, and I wanted to use black thread just to have some contrast. And stitching it like this went better in my head than it did in reality because the lines were so thin. It was really difficult to run through my sewing machine. But the reason I did it that way was because I did want to add some of the foam behind the hearts to have it pop up off the page to give it some dimension. Typically I would have already adhered this to the background and then stitched it, but I kind of did it backwards. But it worked out, and I got it on there, and it looked great. And now I'm just trimming up my photo. I've got this little small paper trimmer for Christmas, and I love it. It's perfect for cutting like the 4x6 photo paper. And I just trimmed it down, and you probably noticed that usually almost all of my photos have a white border around them, and I do that for two reasons. The first reason is because I like it standing out from the background. It kind of helps your photos separate from your background paper and what you have going on your layout. The second reason is because it's very helpful when you're editing your photo. I edit in Photoshop, and so I'm able to kind of adjust my white balance a little bit better. When you have that really white photo, it really helps you adjust your white balance really well. So now I'm getting started on the title. I'm using some thickers from some of the other Pink Paisley collections by Paige. I think these are from Pick Me Up, and the other ones that I used I think are from Fancy Free. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's correct. And you can see that this set is well used. They're kind of all over the place on the sheet. They do kind of lose their stickiness after a while, so I wanted to make sure that these stayed on my page. And so I'm just adding some extra adhesive behind these to make sure they don't fall off later on. And I don't know what was going on with my camera. It was very sensitive today to me touching my desk. So I'm going to try to figure out something to where I'm not having it stand on the desk anymore. I like it on the desk because it helps me to keep the layout close to me, but it really aggravates me having it kind of jumpy like this. So hopefully by my next video I will have that sorted out. I finally got the lighting the way that I like it, and then of course it has to be very sensitive to touch today. So I can't ever get everything to work right all at the same time. Maybe one day I'll get lucky and have one that turns out just the way that I want it. So I'm going to continue adding the letters for my title, and it says, or it's going to say, "You make my heart happy." And I wanted to use a mix of those colors that really coordinate with the whimsical collection. And then I wanted some contrast. So these are actually from the Crepe Paper Snow and Cocoa collection, and these are foam thickers instead of the chipboard. And I like that contrast and how it just makes the word happy stand out. So now that I've got the title done, I'm going to start embellishing, and even though I usually know what is in the ephemera pack, I have to take everything out and look at it because it helps me decide what I want to use. So I'm just kind of pulling out a few things to see where I want to put those on the layout. And I'm going to add foam behind most of the embellishments just because I want them to stand up along with the cut file. So I'm just going to start putting these around, just finding different spots for where I want them to go. And I'm going to add a couple of other hearts just because this is a heart theme layout, so you can never have too many hearts. And I just like the way that they fit into the layout also. And I thought my photo was kind of just kind of not sticking up enough right there on that left hand side, so I did add a little bit more of the foam behind it to kind of pop it up. And so I'm just kind of going around adding a couple of other hearts here and there, and then I'm going to start mixing in some of the stickers, the little enamel pieces, and I am going to use those florals too. I really like that pack of all the floral shapes, and I'm going to use those to create some clustering toward the end. And I did want to tell you real quick about the cut shop. I mentioned before that it has moved. If you've been following me, you know I opened it in 2014, and it has been hosted on Etsy ever since then. But I have decided to move it to a Shopify store, and it has a new website address. It is thecutshop.com.co. So I hope you will go ahead and visit, and that you will bookmark that new website, because that's where all of our files will be from now on. And instead of picking the free files up on the blog, now they're actually available in the shop. And so while you're at the shop, you can download any of our free designs. There is a section for just free designs, and our free designs are always free. We never go back and do a charge for those, so you can always find those for free when you're shopping in the store. And so now I've kind of gotten all of the other stuff where I want it, and now I do want to go and create those clusters. So I'm going to just pick out a couple of the flowers and some of the leaf shapes, and I kind of kept everything inside the heart, but I wanted a little bit of the embellishing to go kind of outside of it. So that's what I'm going to do with these flowers here. Since I had used the word love outside the heart on the bottom right hand corner, I wanted to kind of balance that with another cluster up on the top left that kind of goes out of the heart shape a little bit. And so that's what I'm doing here. And I really like the way that those flowers look with the hearts. I have a lot of hearts going on, so I have a contrasting shape with the flowers, and so I really like that and the way it turned out. And so I am going to add a couple of other flowers here by the word love. I felt it was kind of lonely down there by itself, so I wanted a little bit more embellishing right there. So I am going to add just another one of the little leaf shapes and some more of the flowers. And that one is a sticker. I liked that it was a little bit smaller because most of the flowers in this die cut pack, the pink one that I use right here and then the two at the top, those are basically the smallest ones. It really doesn't get any smaller than that. They go from that small to medium to really large. So that was the smallest size in the pack. And so I'm going to add my date really quick. This is a new roller date stamp that I got. It's a Heidi swap one because my other one ended in 2018. And I'm going to finish it with some splatters. This is just the white ink from Alta New, and I wanted to use it just to add a little bit of that white around the page. And so that finishes up my layout. You can see the full layout here and a close-up. And as I mentioned, make sure you check out the new address for the cut shop. It is thecutshop.com.co. We're also having a sale, and you can see the information for that here. So make sure you head over, save on your favorite designs, and pick up the free cut files. Thanks so much for watching this time, and I'll see you again.